Oh, welcome to a News Game Plus, and we are not grounded anymore, so I'm here in person.
No,
finally.
Yes, great.
I didn't introduce it.
Yeah, awesome. That's so
Okay,
great.
well,
let's talk about whether troll reviews exist on Last of Us 2 now that you're in person.
I can't remember anything about that.
Sudden memory flow.
See, I'm pretty old. So I have these lapses where suddenly, if I fear that I might get punched in the head, I get this memory.
I bail, yeah.
Memory loss.
My memory just goes, yeah.
Well, Last of Us, never heard of the game. But I'll upset somebody from another game coming up. Don't worry, I've saved it.
We do have a few, obviously, cool things. We've got some news to discuss. We do have... day early, a couple of days early.
Okay,
New Xbox, ready to go.
Don't give it up too early.
Woo! So we can go into a bit about that if you have questions.
Play the 2001 Space Odyssey music.
Yeah, I know. I said to the guys,
I'm with a monkey. I'm going to get beaten to death.
We should have gone down to the zoo and just held it at the enclosure. Just held it at the monkey enclosure. They start using tools, just fucking bail, get out of there.
Yeah, R.I.P. that monkey.
That's
not me. All right, cool. All right, well, let's do some game news.
Yeah.
So we keep it tight. All right, look, first one, there's a new Mass Effect Legendary Edition coming to the new consoles. I couldn't be more excited because I reckon I can't wait to play an overrated garbage game again.
Look. Okay, I've had this conversation with you time and again. Mass Effect 1, fantastic game.
Shit combat. The worst, the worst combat.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. No disagreement.
Roblox is a better shooting game
because it learned from Mass Effect.
Than Mass Effect.
It learned from Mass Effect is what happened there.
Actually, Minecraft with a bow and arrow shooting creepers is a better combat system than Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, not saying much, but that's okay.
That's true.
But yeah, no. Look, I think Mass Effect 1, if anything, it had the potential to be great, and then the series kind of just became what the series became, and that's...
Well, you got to make any choice you want.
It doesn't mean anything. You save the Rachno Queen, you bust your balls to save the Rachno Queen.
Are you spoiler alerting it?
Too soon, man. I mean, who cares? Like, it's fine.
So yeah, you can make any decision you want. It's like anything through the whole game, and you're still going to get the same ending. And then you can complain and get a slightly different one.
Yeah, just slightly different. Nothing.
So anyway, and there's also a new Mass Effect game coming. So I know there does have a big fan base of people that do like walking around and talking. And that's something that people haven't experienced the last 9 months.
That's true.
Anyway,
yeah.
So maybe
that's why the most popular. Oh, there you go. I've gone the other way. I've gone the wrong way. There we go.
Yep. So anyway, that's it. Next one. Actually, this has got. This is what I'm going to put an interpretation into. This Adam says Mass Effect is design. Yeah,
fine.
Okay, cool.
It's fine.
I don't know who Adam is, but anyway.
Mr. Rocket Chainsaw.
I actually do.
Yeah, I was going to say, you actually do, yeah, believe it or not.
So anyway, next one. Now, Sony had there was a company making. You know how Sony PS5 has like those big stupid things on the side. What do you call them? Fans, fins, wings.
Yeah.
Wings.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a company making replacement ones you could get. They were $60 Australian, I think, from memory. And Sony has shut them down, Lick Sang style.
Good old Lick Sang.
So you can tell how old I am. So now I reckon that means that you're going to get Sony branded wings for your PlayStation 5, so you can pretend it doesn't look shit for a little while, but put it doing a different colour.
Yeah, look...
Actually, invisible would be the best colour.
Prospect on our team, who is currently playing Final Fantasy on Twitch, so you should go watch that. At the same time, have that in the other window.
Yeah, it's another shit game.
It's the MMO. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Moral story is... he's probably the most design-oriented person in the team. He does a lot of our web design... Not web design, a lot of our art design.
Does he?
A lot of our graphic design and things like that. But he hates it. He fucking hates it. And it is ugly. Like, joke about the monolith all you want. Make your 2001 Space Odyssey jokes. Make your Pure Obsidian jokes. But it's fine. It's fine. Like, it's not rocking the boat. It's not, thing. But it does look like a skyscraper in Kuala Lumpur. And that's what the difference, I would say, with the PS5. It just looks like some shitty skyscraper in Kuala Lumpur.
Something people don't realise is how big it is. It is a monster.
So yeah, this
like half a metre tall.
What I can compare it to that people have reference for
a building. It's massive.
So you've got the Xbox, right? So imagine the Xbox is lying flat. It's about that much higher than it. Like, it's fucking huge.
I would say anybody with young children, don't buy a PS5 because if it topples over, it could kill them.
So that was the old joke for the original
enormous.
Xbox. The original Xbox had the joke of... It was the joke of...
It's my joke.
Basically, it could cause serious injury if it falls. And so that was always the joke, was like, if you were going to rob a bank with an Xbox, you'd have the big guy holding the Xbox. You'd have a couple of people with GameCubes as like handguns. And that was how you'd rob it, because that would be how you'd inflict light injuries, and if you want to kill someone, you'd use the Xbox.
You guys have some very strange team meetings.
Well, whatever. It's fine. Don't judge. No judgment.
Oh, I'm here in person, so I agree. No judgment. So, I'm in arm's reach now. So
you got to be. Whoa, Jesus. Let's be clear. Trump lost. Just something going out to the right.
I should just. Yeah, went through our social distancing barrier.
Yeah. We could pretend to that point. Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. What were we saying? Anyway, something about the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But it's going to have wings, and you're going to be able to buy. I reckon, my interpretation is, I know Sony loves shutting people down, because I know Sony like to, say it's our stuff, and I'll be able to do it.
It's weird. On some things, they're really good. On hard drive, like, you can still put an SSD into the new PlayStation, and it works. And, there's certain things that they do that have always been reasonably consumer friendly. That's been mine. Region locking on the system after PS2. They've never had really a region lock from that point onwards. So this, if it is true, is so counter intuitive for consumers.
So normal for Sony. Basically, I'll say it. You don't have to.
Like I say, sometimes they do real good, like smart things that are very consumer friendly, and then other times they do this.
Okay. Now talking like stupid tech? Do you remember the Kinect?
I do.
Which
one? Kinect 1 or Kinect 2?
Doesn't matter, because it's officially dead. Yes. I know it's been officially dead for a while, but the
can't get the adapters anymore.
The Xbox Series X and Series S, did I do it right?
Yes.
Are they going to do a Series E as well?
Yeah. What are you, Elon Musk?
I wish anyway, it supports backward compatibility, basically everything except the Kinect. So the Kinect is officially out the door, because you can still buy Kinect adapters for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
On eBay and that.
Yeah. But you can't buy them new anymore, and that's definitely been a thing.
No, they're aftermarket things.
Yeah.
And actually, I did see Simon's comment there. Can't stop China making PS5, but can't stop China making anything.
Yeah. Well, they make it all to begin with. So yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear it was years ago I heard this story that in China, when they build a factory, sometimes they build a shadow factory, which is exactly the same. If a Western company goes there, exactly the same specs and everything. Exactly the same specs and everything, but they make it for their knockoffs. So,
I gotcha.
So anyway, there will be.
Well, what they usually do is they'll just make 10,000 that are official, and then they'll just say, "Cool, we're going to add on X amount that are artificial, if you will." And then that's how you do it. And I'm
pretty sure businesses have been told officially that they consider it cost of doing business. But anyway,
it is a shame about, because Kinect always had I always think AR is more
Fruit Ninja Kinect. Yeah. Fruit Ninja Kinect, really good.
AR is more interesting.
I can't see myself anymore
than VR, and I always have thought that. Do you want to go back to seeing yourself?
I'm lost.
I think you're down the bottom here.
I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, keep going.
Anyway, you're down the bottom there. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Jeez.
I haven't been out of the house for 9 months.
Maybe the Trump comparison is apt. I can't see my face anymore.
I'm not grabbing anybody.
Yeah. Better not. Yeah.
Actually, this is actually. I've got news to break. You're not actually you. You're my fake wife. The budget's lower on New Game Plus.
Yeah.
So
we didn't even shave her beard off.
There's a fake Liz here. So you could have shaved at least.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Put those big bug glasses on.
Yeah. Oh God, my fake wife. I do not believe in QAnon conspiracy theories at all. Except if they turned around and said Melania Trump isn't real, I would actually believe it.
I actually like to point out, I did a segment for New Game Plus 3 years ago where I called it a LARP.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out I did that. I've been accused of people of being
Watkins is playing Runaway from the Filipino cops at the moment, so yeah.
Not entirely surprised. Anyway, let's look at do we get another bit of gaming news, because we were supposed to do something. Remember, Cyberpunk 2077 keeps getting delayed Now, I still maintain gamers don't care. I still maintain everyone's prepared to wait.
But Boycott Modern Warfare 2 is the old joke where They were boycotting Modern Warfare 2 because Vince Zampata got kicked off the
I
team.
remember that.
Yeah,
Do you know when that
and
was?
no one did it. That has to be 12 years ago.
Nah, Modern Warfare 2 released in Australia the week that another video game show famously changed hosts. And got rid of host. Anyway, I won't. That's what I remember. Anytime someone says,
Are you applying for the job at that new one? You get to be the live show host?
oh, wait, so the late night TV video game talk show?
Yeah.
What a great idea.
What
an amazing idea.
Someone has done.
I tell you what, the originality in this industry.
Hey, I'm just going to start setting my Facebook to private. I think I don't know.
Well, hey, what? Let's see what they call it. Let's see if they go News Game Plus, like other people do. And if actually Simon's just stole my joke, because I was going to say the hint was in the name. Cyberpunk 2077 always had the release date in the name. So, but anyway, there you go. And Simon just took my joke on the chat. So if you're watching on Facebook, there you go. Xbox Xbox Cloud streaming stick.
the one that
Microsoft is thinking of making you know how you can get these little basically stick PCs and everything, and you can get there's a Fire Stick for Amazon, and there's you get like the Android what do you call it? Chromecast, a little stick, and Microsoft is thinking apparently of making an xCloud streaming stick, which would be like Stadia or.
Well, they're trying to do that for even phones and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a separate small piece of hardware. And for a lot of people, they'll buy a Series S, and that's what the Series S will become, because that'll allow
streaming
that
stick
functionality as well. Yeah.
You know. Well, anyway, they're thinking of doing an actual one, which they can be done very cheap, because even a Windows 10 little stick can be had for like $100 or less, right?
I've seen Kogan for $150. Like,
you get ones that don't run very fast. But so Microsoft is thinking of that now. Remember, Sony tried it with the Vita.
Yes.
Thingy.
And they let that die real quick.
Well, they do with everything. They go, it'll be.
If it's
really
not if it's not like a main piece of like 2 or 3 bits of hardware, they just let them die off.
Nah, the moment Sony says support will be up to the publisher, you know it's like a Scott Morrison announcement.
That was PSP. That was like why Square Enix carried the PSP.
That's anything they do. As soon as Sony says we can do this, but it's up to the publishers to support it. You know, it's a dead technology. It's deader than something Microsoft would make.
It's deader than Windows Phone.
Deader than a Google product as well. Yeah. Windows Phone, Microsoft banned Windows Home Server. Anyway, let's say. All right, cool. Now we've both seen Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Now we don't know any details. Remember the original details of the Uncharted movie was. They changed it to be a treasure hunting family. Remember it was going to be Marky Mark, wasn't it?
Mark.
Yeah, it's going to be Marky
Mark as Sully, wasn't it? Yeah.
I don't mind Marky Mark. Have you seen Mile 21? Mile 22?
I will not watch a movie with Mark Wahlberg.
He does play. He's a bit like...
He was the worst part of The Departed. He was the worst part of basically everything
he's a bit like Mel Gibson. For some reason, he's really good at playing psychos that like to punch people.
No, yeah, I can't even make that joke. Mel, you know me. I'm very. I can't separate art and artist. If someone's a scumbag, I can't enjoy their art anymore, right?
You can't watch anything then.
Yeah,
they're all dickheads. Go on Twitter, find a person you like.
Yeah.
Look at what they say, and they're a dickhead.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is.
But the two that I can't not break that rule for is Mel Gibson and Tom Cruise. And like they're just the two that put him in any movie and I'll watch him. Mark Wahlberg though I will not watch. And
Tom Cruise does good movies.
Yes.
He chooses really good movies.
Yes.
If he's in a movie, it is normally pretty good.
Yeah. I like Edge of Tomorrow. I still think is one of the best movies of the last 10 years. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow? The time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's a great movie. But in America, they renamed it to Live, Die, Repeat or something. Because they struggled.
Well, I mean, it's originally All You Need Is Kill, or is it Blumare? No, it's All You Need Is Kill is the name of the
It is
manga.
It's a fine movie. Yeah. It is a really that's the aliens that come to Earth. They can reset the day.
Yeah.
When a certain alien dies, it resets the day. He gets in an accident, gets the aliens. But I'm not doing spoilers here. If anybody hasn't seen the movie, go watch it. It is.
This
so
happens
good.
in the first 15 minutes, so like
it is so good. Another one to watch, Oblivion. It's not about Cyrodiil and Elder Scrolls.
As long as it's not Skyrim, then
it does have a lame American ending where they use anyway. I won't say
everything.
I won't spoil. But the ending is very American, but But the movie and the concept in Oblivion's good as well. So Tom Cruise does good movies.
Cool.
Is this a movie show now?
Oh, apparently, yeah.
Okay.
No, look, my only thing with Tom Holland, I love Tom Holland. I think he's great.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
But he's young. He's very young, and Nathan Drake, when we kind of meet Nathan Drake, he's in his like late 20s. Like even in 4, which is a prequel, he's in his like.
Yeah, but Nathan Fillion missed the boat.
Correct.
He was actual Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that was when Sony just did that wholesale. Nathan Drake is Nathan Fillion. Ellie from Last of Us is Ellen Page, and then they had to like move away from that like real hard, and then they had to use like her face model.
Yeah, because Ellen Page was in Umbrella Academy.
Yes, and she was also in Beyond. What's the stupid David Cage game? She's in
David Cage movie.
Beyond Two Souls. Yeah, David Cage movie. Beyond Two Souls. I'm pretty sure that was Ellen Page.
He'll be happy if Microsoft makes a streaming stick because he can just decide whether he puts his game on Netflix
it's one of those things because Sucker Punch. No, he's not Supermassive are doing Man of Medan, and have you seen the Man of Medan?
No.
So it's a similar style to like the David Cage games, like, but it's 2 players, and so you play 2 main characters at any given particular point. And you have it's still the same thing, but obviously this choice will affect this choice and vice versa. And so it's that kind of, working together for the common good of it. But it plays itself very, how do I say, crypt. It tells from the crypt. So it's like you get like the curator and he's reading the story of, an interesting tale so far. And because it's so pompous and wanky, it works better. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Pompous and wanky.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think the pretense actually helps it, and I never.
I'm back on screen. Cool.
Look, you're back. Welcome.
Yeah, I was lost. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to introduce our special guest quickly. Did you know? A quick break for this. I went through the stats for our viewership on Spotify.
Yeah, and this surprised me.
Breakdown. This is not. I'm not making this up. Right? We only get these numbers on YouTube if Ellis posts an interview for someone on TV, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But on Spotify, it gives a breakdown of gender and age, and our podcast is most watched by women over 55 years old. So I brought a special guest. Big hello. Hello, everybody.
They can't see it, because it's a podcast.
Okay, well, there you go. Anybody watching live got a special treat there. So I bought the favourite. My wife loves this. She sits here and watches the show with him on a
It's an ovary buster. When he starts eating those eggs, and
he's reaching for the microphone now. Anyway, so that's not bad for a podcast. Move on to Stadia. Now this, I'm getting the heavy news now. That's why I did that as a quick one. Stadia creative director says streamers should pay.
Yeah, this one? And Google have chucked him under the bus instantly. Within 6 hours, they were already saying, we don't agree with that.
Do you reckon he came out on his own and said that, or do you reckon that was an internal
I reckon he wanted to be fired, and he said that to get fired.
His last day.
Yeah, I think it's more a case of if he quits Stadia, he doesn't get a bonus, and if they fire him, he does. I don't know what the logic of saying something like that is.
Okay, so to fill in the gap there, the creative director at Google Stadia,
Australian too, by the way.
Was he? Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, we like to mix it up. Yeah, Australians, we're mischievous. People overseas don't quite get it, but he said that streamers should pay to license the games they stream. Which got quite a big backlash. I didn't know he got fired, but not entirely.
No, he hasn't. And like I say, I think more than anything, you don't make a statement like that when you work for a company like Google, launching a technology that is already floundering. Unless you want to get fired.
What if it's an official position? What if he wasn't talking on his own? What if
they came out and basically said that what he said, we do not support what he said, blah 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 blah. That's a big step away from that, and I think. More than anything else... He's
still there, though.
That is true. But more than anything else, they how do I say it? The current contra relationship between game streamers and game producers works for most of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because realistically, it is a marketing tool now. More and more, even we're these dreaded journos. We get passed over for stuff all the time. It's because we do a stream that has some amount of numbers and has some amount of notoriety. It's mainly why we get stuff. It's not necessarily to do with... You had to
touch it, didn't you?
No. I'm just checking something on the corner. Because it's blocking off the corner of one of the screens.
We'll get there. I've got it on my list.
Anyway,
don't panic.
Yeah. Basically, it's... I don't know. It's such a contra deal and a contra relationship, and I'm glad you're paying attention to me, that I feel
yeah.
even Google isn't going to risk upsetting that particular apple cart. And Jesus. So I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I was just walking over.
I don't feel like they would be particularly good. Oh, you can put graphics packages on Facebook ones. There you go. No, let that
You're not even listening to yourself.
I am. But basically, yeah. I'm not convinced that they would support it. I'm not convinced it's a good position to support. And even if they did internally, there's no way they would want that to be public knowledge. There's just no way.
Well, it is. I thought it was an interesting comment. I'm going to go there and say I reckon they do think that.
Yeah.
I reckon they do. I reckon that's just something that's slipped.
Look, two things to it. Number one, Twitch have gone in since Facebook got the deal for music. So if you play licensed music, if let's say we had these streams, right? We put in Spotify, put on a licensed song, we're covered. We just can't make money from it. It's like YouTube. Yep. So you can.
Oh, because if we put 30 seconds of something in the show, we lose the whole lot.
We lose the whole lot.
Which is funny because the rest of the show,
is
the other
26
minutes is original content, including original theme music, original graphics done by people on the show,
and paid for by externally.
For 30
from other
seconds,
vendors.
30 seconds will take the whole lot.
Yeah,
we'll monetize it and not give us a cent.
Yeah, and then if we fight them for it, we don't get back the money we did.
And we've had streams from events which other people have stolen, monetize on their channels. And I've put in complaints to try and get it back, and YouTube has just ignored them.
Yeah.
And the other person has been making money.
Yeah.
YouTube's a joke.
YouTube is a joke. Yeah. And so
it needs competition.
So Facebook has that issue where it's like they now you can just play live music. Like if you want to have, because some people watch streams to chill. People play a game, they chuck on music in between or whatever, they chill. Twitch has started doing DMCA takedowns. So if you've got a clip with a song in it, all they'll tell you is that there's a DMCA takedown. Twitch doesn't have the mechanisms to specifically point out clips. Twitch has started going hard with the ads. If you have an ad blocker on it detects it. Maximum 480p for your stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So watch Twitch through a Chromecast. I didn't tell you that, but if you watch Twitch through a Chromecast or an Xbox like console, you don't get ads. You still don't get ads. I didn't tell you that, but I promise you that's how you avoid ads without having to go to uBlock. Because that's how I watch nearly all my Twitch streams is on my Chromecast. And I don't get a single ad.
You know, if you skip the ads, it's like pirating the content. That's Ted Turner.
So we're Australians, right? And this is why it's surprising it's an Australian guy. So when Sony went after that guy for putting mod chips into consoles, the High Court of Australia actually held up his right to do so. They said, well, you haven't provided an avenue for this to be for people to play these international games. If this is something that is he can offer as a service, then we're not removing that ability from him, right? He's not doing anything wrong, right? He's just breaking your ability to hold this market to ransom. They lost that, so that's how they get you on end-user license agreements now. Because even if you chipped it to play international, if you had to do that as a thing, you still broke the end-user license agreement, and that's how they'll just remove your access to everything that you have. So from my point of view, Facebook is going one way with it. You can't trust Zuckerberg, he says on Facebook. Twitch has realised that they've got no competition in this space, so they're just like, well, we just want to sap.
People say that as if they're clever, but I don't like Scott Morrison, but live in Australia. Yeah. I mean, it's not.
I know. I always hate that. It's like, oh, you hate capitalism, and yet you completed. You
only iPhone
participated in capitalism.
Starbucks.
Oh, aren't I smart? Shut the fuck up.
What else am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, might as well use the platform to piss them off.
See,
That's
even
my attitude on Twitter.
I don't get ads at the start of my ones on Xbox, so I don't know whether I've set it up a certain way, but if I watch on Xbox, I don't even get an ad at the start. I definitely don't get them on Chromecast, like 100% do not get them on Chromecast. So yeah, I don't know. Your mileage may vary, but mine definitely doesn't. I definitely don't get ads.
As you know, Australia is a nation entirely populated by criminals.
Absolutely. And I say that is like, the one thing that will make me sad is we've turned that anti-establishment convict heritage into... It's been perverted in weird ways. Things like the Eureka Stockade, all that kind of stuff, they've been perverted into this very American nationalism, and I really don't like that because I think...
I tell you what, the last 4 years have seen one hell of a takeover of our thoughts by America. That's another story.
Yeah, you want to talk about US cultural hegemony, but that's a different conversation.
Trump's the vehicle they use.
And moral of the story is he's full of shit. Number two,
really?
Game publishers make too much value out of this. Twitch platforms are very easy for them to... It's a very easy incentive and a very easy contra deal for them to get free advertising and free marketing. And even if they have to pay, it's still thing. Wow, there you go, Simon. I've never gotten out on my Xbox. Maybe they.
That's
flagged
okay.
me. There you go.
Jason's just telling lies. Don't worry about it.
Thanks for the follow, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you followed and you lied to make him follow. You're a bad
Yeah.
person.
I know, right? That's how it works, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Now, do you remember? Sports TV, sports TV.
I remember
Do you remember
Matrix.
that?
I remember Matrix.
Okay. Well, I mentioned Kinect before. Kinect was dead. Blessed on Matrix, little soul. Well, anyway, nowadays, if I open up the Xbox, everybody's listed what they're playing. It's all Netflix, YouTube, and so on. So anyway, so the streaming apps that are on, this is a quick one on the PS5 and the Xbox One Series X. If anybody cares, there's way more on the Xbox Series X. Basically,
that was also true last gen too.
if you, but not Freeview TV. Freeview TV is not putting apps on, and KO for God's sake, KO. If you want $25 a month, make an Xbox app. Anyway, so basically you're going to get Apple TV on both of them, Disney Plus, Netflix, YouTube, and so on. Xbox ads. It's also going to have Spotify, which my daughter uses all the time. Amazon Prime, so you can watch The Expanse and The Boys, two very good shows. Hulu. Twitch is only going to be... No, Twitch is on both. Sky Go. What's Sky Go? Sky Go... Rupert?
Yeah. I think
so don't install that.
Yeah,
don't install Sky anything.
Yeah.
Stan and Ivy are going to be on the Ivy's going to be on the Xbox.
No,
Freeview TV is missing, so channel 9, 10,
7.
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, so Freeview is not. They want you to stream their stuff, but they're not doing it.
Okay.
So anyway, so streamers will be catered for in the new consoles. More so on the Xbox Series X. What do they call it?
Like, as much as that was a meme, like, I appreciate the fact that Netflix works really well on it and Stan works really well on it, because I've done it sometimes where I'm like, cool, I'll order some food. I'm playing a game, order some food. Sky Stop is the correct answer as opposed to Sky Go. Sky Stop.
That's good, Dallas. I like it.
So let's say I get some food in or whatever. I'm like, oh, cool.
Dallas, if you're in Australia, could you bag something that's Rupert? If you're in Australia, message New Game Plus. I'll send you a T-shirt.
So we've got enough of them. Yeah.
If you bag Rupert, I'll send something.
Yeah. So you get some food. You quickly switch over to Stan or whatever like you want to watch. And then you're like, okay, so I'm going to watch an episode of whatever. For me at the moment, it's Ray Donovan. Very good show for those who haven't watched it.
I think you're always watching Seinfeld.
Oh, that's my sleep show.
That's
Simpsons, South Park, Aqua Teen Hunger Force are my sleep shows.
So you're subliminally remembering, because remember they used to think if you listen to someone you're sleeping, you'd remember it. I actually tried that once when I was at high school to try and remember learning Japanese or something. Yeah, nice. And it didn't work.
日本語で話せますね。
Yeah.
That's how Gerard got through his trip to Japan, by the way.
I pointed at stuff. I pointed things. I want one of them, and I'd put money down. And the Japanese are really nice. They wouldn't steal my money. Can you imagine you try that in Australia? I want one of them. It's $10. Okay, you put down $100.
Quick side story. When I was like in my 20s, we were meeting with a friend, and she was dating a Japanese bloke who happened to be a fucking Jehovah's Witness, by the way. Anyway. And so
I didn't know they were in Japan.
So huge. They're probably one of the biggest Christian sects over there. Anyway,
okay.
So he comes over.
I thought they were like
anyway, so I was
going to say something, but I'm probably going to say something Chinese and be racist.
Yeah, she will. So be quiet. Yeah. So we're sitting.
Baby Yoda.
We're sitting at a bar in Narry Warren, right?
Yep.
And so he's like blah blah. She goes to the toilet. I'm like, oh, I'll go get a drink. So I'll come with you. And he leaves his wallet and stuff on the table. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, nah, don't do that. He's like, why? I'm like, you're in Narry Warren. Don't leave your wallet on the table. And he just couldn't understand the concept. Now, I've left my phone, my wallet, my bag in there, and I've gone back, and it's there. And it's there, and it's waiting for me. Yeah. It's waiting for me. They're apologetic. They're like, oh, super sorry. I was like, what the fuck? You didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. But like, you don't get your money stolen unless you're Sefi and you get bashed because you hang around Yakuza in Osaka. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he got rolled in Osaka for like $1,000. Oh,
really?
By these two Yakuza.
But I was going to say, I mean, if you leave stuff there, you're like 5 times bigger than most of the people there. So
I mean,
why do they return your stuff?
Yeah, look, I could tell you Japanese stories all day. Again, stay tuned for more Murasaki Gemu. But like,
you're going to talk about Japan.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, because if you get me started, I don't stop. Yeah. moral story is what we're talking about. TV. As much as it's a meme,
Maybe,
I like the fact that Xbox's TV apps work really well. And so you play a game, watch your stand, watch your episode. Cool. Finish my meal, pack it all up, go back to play games, and it just kicks back off, and you play a game, and I'm like. Perfect.
Sports TV, sports TV.
So
sports,
it's
TV,
a meme, but it's a good meme. I don't know. I like
TV,
it.
sports TV.
I'll move it over here somewhere because I can't.
How are we going for time? Are we going for ages?
We got a little bit of time. We've gone for 35 minutes. 30 minutes.
Okay, quickly, because I want to hang shit on Kotaku. Am I able to?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
We don't. We definitely. Oh, how dare you?
Okay,
speak badly about Kotaku?
Because Kotaku's PlayStation 5 review is an amazing piece of work.
Look, let's be clear. It's fine until they just lean in on this point. And
okay. If anybody remembers the Forza review that talked about Pauline Hanson One Nation, basically said Australia doesn't deserve Forza because of Pauline Hanson. Well, that's fine. Just they sell it in Queensland.
I do like. It's been funny watching the Americans whitewash their last few years. Oh, Australia's definitely more racist than think because they have Pauline Hanson. I'm like, you guys fucking for real? Like, are you being funny? Like,
would make a hell of a game show.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So Kotaku decided to throw this in their PlayStation 5 review, and I've got to read it because it is insane. Do not click on Kotaku. Big hello to Mark.
Anyway, we'll provide the archive.
Actually, this was the American version. The world. This is where they say should you buy one? The world is still reeling under the weight of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a PlayStation 5 review, right? So there are more Americans out of work right now than at any point in the country's history with no relief in sight. Our healthcare system is an inherently evil institution that forces people to ration life-saving medications like insulin and choose suicide over suffering. I still want to point out, this is a PlayStation 5 review. This is about a game console that's supposed to make you happy. As I'm writing this, it looks very likely that Joe Biden will be our next president. How about that? But it's clear. But it's clear that the worst people aren't going away just because the new old white man is sitting behind the resolution. I'm going to stop there. It goes on for a while. That's a PlayStation 5 review. That is a review about a game console in Kotaku. Now, when people say some video game journos are full of shit. Yeah. That's one. Can I just say, if anybody don't write shit like that. Video games are fun. That's stuff.
Okay. Two or three things there.
Our government is fundamentally broken in a way that necessitates. This is a TED talk.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, sir. This is a Wendy's. This is a PlayStation 5.
Okay, a couple of things. Number one, we can't pick on people for talking politics, but at least we don't do it during the middle of a review. Number two,
I've done it in reviews.
Yeah.
I did in the Abe's Odyssey review. Remember the Abe's Odyssey? I actually said that was inspired by liberal government work choices.
Yeah, but that's a humour joke. That's a quick thrown in.
You can do it if you're not obnoxious about it. You can put politics. I'm gonna. Yeah. I know you were about to say so. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do a little mini rant. You can put politics into video games.
Of course you can.
Effectively. But the problem is a lot of people that try just aren't good enough at it. It's as simple as that. You can put politics in games. Deus Ex, my favourite game series ever, the best game of the year, all time, right? Is a political game. Has a lot of political concepts in there.
Very philosophical as well. Like
Beyond Good and Evil. Extremely political game, which I reckon, they haven't made it yet, but another game about exposing government conspiracies, the time is right. But if they do that and they don't do something stupid, right? You can do it, but if you're good enough. But the problem is all these people that do it, and Simon, I won't play that game, please. But but a lot of people that do it, including this review on Kotaku, just can't do it. They're just not good enough.
They shoehorn it in. There is a place to say it comes out at a time where there's a lot of turmoil. I think that's a reasonable thing to say. In the face of this is when it comes out. So you can frame that as...
I'm not buying a Playstation 5 to think about white supremacy.
No,
it is white console.
But you can take the white bits. It doesn't matter.
I'm very progressive. Don't.
We'll get in trouble. But basically, you can definitely say, it comes out at a tough time. I wonder how many people are going to buy it. People have, been really struggling. I think they're all relevant points for what is a $500 US console. Do you know, that's all relevant points of, is it worth spending $500 on at the moment? No, it's not, because, there's no games or whatever. Or it's tough times, so, if you can afford one, great, whatever. Yeah. They're all relevant points to me, because it's relevant to the audience that you're speaking to and relevant to their ability to enjoy the console. But to just shoehorn it, everything you say is correct, but put it in another article. All of that is absolutely true, But why is it here?
Put it on Twitter.
Put it on Twitter. I mean, it's not like Kotaku writers don't go on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like,
Actually, I'd like to point out, Alex. I'm going to send Alex a t-shirt. Send your details to.
Send Simon one as well because he's been commenting a heap. So
did I say him before? Or was there somebody else?
No, he said Dallas.
Okay. Simon wins as well. Yeah, I'll send you both to Simon and Alex because Alex said Deus Ex rocks. Alex wins.
All right. Look. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
How do you feel about? Did you see
Alex's new favorite viewer? New favorite viewer.
I've got a new story for you. The figures came back on Avengers. They sold 3 million copies, and they spent $500 million on
it. I can't do the maths in my head because my brain's exploding.
So
with
$60,
happiness.
$60 $60 by
So they
three.
made a loss.
They made a loss.
Okay, that's good.
I'll be surprised.
I couldn't be happier. That's good. Everybody who did not buy Avengers gets a t-shirt.
so something I will say.
That's good. Oh, fantastic.
I will say for Dallas there mentions Far Cry 6. Now I think it's worth bringing up Ubisoft's aversion to being political. So they've made a game about preppers in the south of America, Montana, wasn't it, for Far Cry 5, right? And they decided to not be political. I don't know how you can not be political in 2018 in Southern America, right? But apparently they went out of their way to avoid doing anything that was going to upset anyone. They made Division 2, which is about a virus taking over New York City and then Washington.
Division 2 is pretty good.
But it's not political. They go out of their way to avoid it being political, like specifically our world political. Remember they sent that email out that was I
played heaps of that game.
And they said, you think DC's a war zone now or something like that. And then they got rid of it, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Watch Dogs.
I played the hell out of that game.
Watch Dogs still has the same tone deafness. That's the problem of they are playing. So you're playing an insurgency. Like, you are basically the IRA. You are basically the PLO. You are basically an inbuilt homegrown insurgency.
The originals.
And then everyone's like, let's just get a photo for the gram. And it's got like a photo booth where you can get all your different revolutionaries and they take a photo together and they have hashtags and shit. And I'm like...
Serious?
Yeah.
Is that in Watch Dogs?
It is so tone deaf. The gameplay loop itself is fine.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
I didn't know that in Watch Dogs.
The gameplay loop itself is fine. Watch Dog Legion, I finished it. It's a solid 7. It's
This is the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, not the original Watch Dogs.
So, okay. Original Watch Dogs is boring and lame. Aiden's a bad character.
That's true, but it was fun going around the cameras.
Yes. So, that's what I mean. So, 2 takes that. You play in San Francisco. It still has that same mechanic. You can never fire a shot. If you're skillful enough, you can basically do it so you never fire a shot. And that's like an actual thing.
What's he said about?
About Marvel games. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Supper Marvel games.
But like, yeah.
Supper.
So, but basically, yeah, Watch Dogs has this awkward, annoying thing. Yeah. Listen to the words I'm saying here.
Sorry.
They have this annoying, like, awful thing where it just does not touch on the fact that, yeah, I'm murdering cops, but it's YOLO swag. You know what I mean? Like, there's just this real disconnect with the Zoomer message it's trying to get across in the Zoomer aesthetic. And we're murdering cops. Like, these people are dying, and they bring it up twice in Watch Dogs Legion. The computer brings it up and you laugh it off. And then the chick at the end, like the big bad, you're having a conversation with, right? Ooh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Like the person at the end you're having a big conversation with, like the big bad, turns out that like she brings it up, how many people did you kill to get to this point? And it's like, it's at no point we've reflected on this fact, but we're reflecting on it now.
Are they trying to do a lame Spec Ops sort of?
Yes. To me, if what's his name, Jaeger or whatever the hell his name was, the old mate who did Spec Ops, was given to. My main problem is the recruit anyone thing doesn't work because there's not enough variation. It doesn't offer enough into what the game does, right? So there's that. But the core gameplay loop of hacking cameras, doing these things, being cool without, setting off at alarms and then walk your way going, I just completed the objective. I didn't even walk in the place. Like I used all the cameras. I used little robots.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's still that core gameplay
More
loop from 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Is fine. Like it plays fine. But then they add on this recruit anyone off the street. So you can walk up to anyone on the street, scan them with your phone, and it says that person, and sometimes it's stuff like they have the access to a car. They have the access to get people out of jail earlier, or to get people out of hospital earlier, and all this. And so some of those can be okay and used like well a little bit. And then like other ones will be like, oh, this person has access to a shotgun, like a pump action shotgun in UK, which is very unlikely, but whatever, we'll go with it. But then the second weapon you give them has to be a non-lethal weapon. It's like, well, no, they've got a shotgun. They're obviously willing to kill cops for this, and I need to force the people who can go in and kill. And yet it seems so tone deaf because now you suddenly want to like not. I don't know if it's cognitive dissonance. I just think they've gone out of their way to make it not mean anything, and I think that's the Ubisoft problem for the last 3 years. Is every time they've had a chance to be political, they haven't done it well. To go back to the original point. Far Cry 6, they will go political because it's South America. So that's where America likes to flex its political will, and that's South America. But they don't like to talk about the problem at home, right? They like to ignore the problems at home.
So they've gone easy, but they've gone the easy.
Yeah, and then Far Cry 6 will go much more serious about it because it's South America.
I remember you had that dickhead from Polygon complaining Far Cry 6 he didn't get to kill enough MAGA hat wearing.
Yeah.
Can you release that still? I mean,
I think at the same time there is an element of that of all these people they none of them were willing to say, well, who do these people politically support? They have to politically support someone. And they just avoided this whole issue, and it became about Jacob Seed, who's doing this like cult. But even he's not aligned with anyone. Like New Dawn, which was their version of Fallout / Mad Max, that did a much better job of being, here's what happened to the world after the ending of Far Cry 5. And the ending of Far Cry 5 is just a huge cop-out. So my thing is, I don't trust Ubisoft to be political because I don't think they have the nous for it, and I don't think they have the will for it. They don't want to be political. They want to specifically avoid being political, and it's to the detriment of their games.
Yeah, okay. If you're going to be political, you have to commit.
Yes,
you have to commit.
Agreed.
And you have to do it well. And if you do it well, it can be spectacular.
Yeah.
If you don't do it well,
I think even Deus Ex, it's a good example of it. They did the Orgs Live Matter thing, and I get it. It's very
a lot of heat for that.
It's very tone deaf. But it
They were trying to take an issue and turn it into something that was not in. Because what you got to do when you do that, you can't make it that particular time of individuals.
Yeah, agreed.
So if you made a Trump,
you got to make it an allegory.
So if you made a game about Trump, right?
Yeah.
But you said Trump. In 20 years, that means nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's going to be like George W. Bush. They're going to love him again, right?
Yeah.
So you got to make it about the concept.
Yes.
And
of a person like him, who a facsimile of him, so that you can.
Mankind Divided copped a lot of crap for doing the All Lives Matter, but they were trying to point out that different people will be treated a bit like District 9.
Yeah.
And they were trying to show that, and they had actual
alien apartheid, quite literally.
But they had actual.
Wickers, a souvenir of your first prawn abortion.
Yeah, but some of the cops talking about it were like Kenyan actors.
Fucking prawns, yeah.
So they were trying to show that that's actually a concept, not. Yeah. But if you attach it to, even if you attach something to apartheid South Africa, that was a period in time.
Yeah.
But you want to try and make it. If you do good writing, you make it something. This is what science fiction always does.
Good sci-fi,
you make it forever.
Good sci-fi works if you remove the sci-fi element. Do you know what I mean? And to me, that's what good sci-fi is. If you were to take away the fantastical element and ground it in semi-reality, unless it's a core part of the premise, I still think it works. Do you know what I mean? That to me is what good sci-fi is.
Good sci-fi. Watch The Expanse.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. It's on my list.
The politics between Earth, Mars, and the Belters is really, really, really well done. The stresses and why they're there. So it can be done. Sci-fi's always done that. I've always been a sci-fi fan because I always tried to go those things. But yeah. Anyway, look. Where are we going with this? I was actually the only thing I had left is for you to do a show and tell.
All right.
So because you have something.
Yes.
So
what do people want to know?
Not my baby Yoda because I've got a baby Yoda.
I guess. Do people want to have a look at the ports? Do they want to
Okay,
so I've got the monolith.
Anybody on chat?
It's heavy.
Anybody on the chat? If you got a question about the Xbox
it's got to be
Series X, Jason has it. Here.
I'm trying to.
It's heavy.
Compare it to a slab. It's probably about 5-6 kilos. Let me see what the actual.
It's not as big as I thought.
Xbox.
It's big.
Series X weight.
It's not as big as I thought, but it is still pretty big. But it's nowhere near as.
4.5 kilos. So there you go. So it doesn't weigh as much as the wine box, but it's close.
We already put
greasy handprints on it.
It does collect fingerprints.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. You can see on the thing there. It's not as big as you would think. It's it
okay,
really...
it's about twice as high as a CD. Actually, you know what? If you had well, this probably isn't going to help anybody younger than 40. But if you got a CD case, it's basically imagine 2 CD cases. You don't know what a
CD case is in a box for them.
Yeah, remember those round silver things? Remember the you put in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember they used to come in little plastic holders?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that. That's about a CD. That's about 2 CD cases.
Oh, you mean right lengthwise? What
Yeah.
a dumb comparison, but yes, it's true.
It's not dumb if you're old.
Look, it's fine. You know what I do have over there?
It's not dumb at all.
I'm pretty sure it does have a day one. I actually haven't.
Can you
it
cook a
can be
pizza?
laid down. So you see on the thing there, it's got a little.
Actually, Dallas wants to know if you can cook on it. I reckon you'll be able to cook
on the top.
I reckon
you'll be able to dry your hair on it. Like,
I reckon
well, you not.
marshmallows. Yeah, you'll mean.
But yeah, you see the
marshmallows.
So you can
Dallas,
lay it on its side.
Get some marshmallows on a stick. I reckon you'll be able to roast them on top of it when it's running.
It's got 3 USB ports, 1 at the front, 2 at the back. The 2 at the back are super speed ones. It does not play Spider-Man.
It won't play
Banana for scale. No, Hungry Jack's large drink for scale.
Oh, okay, here we go.
There you go. I happen to have Hungry Jack's rubbish. Like, Jack, send us some fucking Hungry Jacks, bro. Like, yeah. So that's the size comparison. That's it. Flat in my hand. That's it thing. So it's
we got any
like,
CD cases.
Yeah, that's them basically sitting at the same height.
Oh look, I found a PlayStation 5. Look, here we go. It's a PlayStation 5.
That's Dermie's PlayStation 5. That's what his wife got him because he kept asking. He's like, yeah, you can play with this.
Here we go.
I got my PS4 here. I guess I can measure it against that. But yeah. The other one is the controller. Now, you've probably heard that it's slightly smaller than...
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. You're just crazy.
So that's the new controller.
By the way, Nick, nobody cares about Spider-Man.
And that's the old controller. So that's the old Xbox One. I'll try and match them up. There we go. So that's there. So the main things to take away are, if you look at them from the bottom...
They're the same size.
Right? They're roughly the same size. So, you see from the bottom, it's hard to see, but like, the bits like this are longer on the Xbox One controllers. Like, they're definitely longer compared to the same arc on the play thing. But these droop lower. Like, they compare it like the droop. And see, they kind of droop lower. It's hard to describe. They've got like grooves on the inside of the mesh as well.
Yeah, that's a change that'll be hard to see. If you've ever played
and
with
I'll zoom in on the D-pad while you're talking.
If you've ever played with an Elite controller, the Elite controller, the second version Elite controller has like a texture underneath the grips. This one has that little grid texture. It's probably very hard to see on the stream, but it is a real nice feel. It's a lot nicer feel than the smooth handles on a normal one.
It's probably a little bit lighter. Granted, I haven't put batteries in. It's definitely a bit lighter, even with the batteries. Let's swap them out. Shout outs now to IKEA batteries, because that's what I use for my rechargeables. Send us some batteries, IKEA. Works for Rick and Morty. I'm at least as famous as them.
I only know that they show something about a pickle.
Have you not seen Rick and Morty?
Never seen Rick and Morty.
You are the smug libertarian prick that show's built for. You'll love it.
I'm libertarian now. Well, I'm smug, but you know. Because I'm good. Whoa. Well, there we go. You've just pressed things. Are we still on?
We are still on. Doesn't matter. Just ignore it. All right, cool. So actually, this helps. So that about the same weight now, I would say. Like, this is definitely heavier. Like, especially once you put the batteries in it. But yeah, across the top, it's probably like the line between here and here is definitely smaller than here and here. There's lots of little just aesthetic changes I've made, and obviously you've got the share button dead in the middle there as well, which obviously is going to help, because the worst thing, okay, as much as I shit on Sony, the one thing Sony does really well is game capture. If you want to capture X files, X capture from a game, right? You just save it to the hard drive or whatever. It's a good show. And then you plug in a USB drive. You say dump to USB drive, and then you put it into. Have you watched The Fall and what's that Sex Ed that she's in and stuff?
Oh wait,
she's good in Sex Ed. Yeah, I mean, but she's good in everything. Like
You've got
Gillian Anderson's good in everything. Like,
all right, that's it. I'm out.
Yeah. But basically, you just take the USB, plug it into your computer. Done, right? With Xbox, you've either got to have the USB 3.0 drive already running when you start capturing and set it as a capture device, or you've got to send it to a fucking OneDrive and then download it off OneDrive.
You just
It is so shit. It is so shit. Like, and I hope, like, that's the one of the first things I'm going to test is that, because I've got obviously a bunch of games to go with it. It's Assassin's Creed Valhalla and a few others that I've been playing on One, and I want to compare it to think. Assassin's Creed Valhalla looks like fucking shit on the Xbox One. Let's be clear. I have an Xbox One S, granted, so it's obviously the worst possible version it could be, but you could tell that it's high res, high poly turned down, and they haven't gone out of their way to make it look good. It just exists.
Simon said Xbox saves to OneDrive. Do you want to know a little story about OneDrive? It used to be called SkyDrive.
Yes, it did.
Do you know why it's called OneDrive now?
Why?
Murdoch.
Oh, really?
No shit. Rupert Murdoch. I don't know if he sued him or whatever, but he forced him to change it to OneDrive from SkyDrive.
I remember SkyDrive.
Because he said he owns the word Sky, basically. Nice. So, if you need any more evidence that Rupert Murdoch's a massive prick.
Well, they tabled it in Parliament, the petition. 501,476 signatures, I think.
I was one of them.
And I shared it around everywhere. I even asked Mr. Rudd for an interview, and he just didn't answer me. That's fine.
You're not Jordan Shanks.
That's true. He does love Jordan. It's funny too. Like, I mean, let's do the Geordies talk another day. But it is funny how, like, I'm like, everyone accuses me of being a Labor shill, and maybe I am, but I'm super Labor left, right? He is very Labor right. Like, he won't talk about Gillard. He won't talk positively about Gillard.
No, he never mentions Gillard.
Yeah, but he'll talk about Rudd, and he'll talk about everyone else.
My wife loves Gillard. Yeah. He's her favourite person ever in history.
So it's interesting. It's interesting that's one of those things. Anyway, we need to bring back serious business. Well, I think I'm going to have to...
I like Melky.
Malcolm Turnbull. What the fuck is wrong with having this conversation again? It's been fucking 7 years since I first had this conversation with you. You still haven't fucking learnt. At this point, it's your fault.
You demonetized it. Stop swearing.
No. Well, it's Facebook, whatever. Anyway, but I think that is it. Is there any more news or anything you want? Is there any last questions anyone has beforehand?
Yeah, any questions about the Xbox?
It actually has like a green tinge on the inside. Yeah, you can see it.
Oh, wow, it does. It really shows up there.
Yeah. So, and that lights up obviously as well when you power it on.
Got a giant fan.
Yeah, it's got a giant heat sink in there. Like you can see it. So if you even in there's a hole in the back, you can see it. The base is like it's got a circular plate. I'll see if I can pull it.
Doesn't rotate. I tried.
It doesn't rotate, but I'm sure at some point they'll have like stands.
Jason wasn't happy because I was going to force it. So I said it will rotate.
Yeah, so back to the actual game news and not just random shit.
Yep.
If there's anything else you want to know,
sorry, Simon.
Now's your chance.
Did I promise Simon a t-shirt? I retract that if he says back to the game news.
I'll take it back.
Alright, cool. We're done. Do we have any events coming up? Is there any events now that we're not grounded?
So the only couple of things I would say is that Couch Warriors, the update. I'm pretty sure there is an update. So the thing that comes with it, with the thing that we received said that. There is a launch day refresh, but it will work out of the box. It just doesn't. It like store might struggle or whatever.
Remember the Wii U? Basically,
what the Xbox One looks like now. So if you go to the store now, look at the Xbox One. It's basically what the same thing is. Like, it's very similar. The main thing is, the reload times and the restart times seem to be much quicker on the Series X, which is surprising considering PS5 loves to talk about its multi-memory chip thing that they...
Oh, yeah, I heard that. So, the Xbox One X hard drive is... And also, the PlayStation 5, I didn't make a note of it, but you can't actually upgrade their storage.
Yes, you can.
At the start.
It's in the...
No, but not from day one.
Yeah, you can. It's in the video. You can install it on the side.
Okay, I'll go back and check Survivor. Bring this up next week. There's something about you can't upgrade.
All right. Because you can with Xbox, but it's literally $300 for the stupid thing, and it's a fucking memory card that goes in that slot.
Okay. To be clear on the storage, internal storage has to be used for Xbox Series X games or S games, but the external storage can still be used for Xbox One. Xbox One X, obviously, Xbox 360, and Xbox original games. So you can still use a USB add-on drive.
So this is where it gets weird. So I've got an Xbox One hard drive, like it's an old SSD I've got. Just got it plugged into a dock, like a what do you call them? Like a bracket, a mount.
See, Alex agrees with me. I like him.
Yeah. Okay. Then I mean, look. Let's be 100% clear.
You tell the bad man,
Alex.
Alex.
If Steve Wright said it, I trust it. It's as simple as that. If Steve is reporting it, I trust Steve's reporting. And if he got it wrong, it's because his source got it wrong. That's all I'll say, right? He has 100% inherent trust from our organisation.
Steve is opposite of Kotaku.
Yes. When he gets into drama on Twitter, that's when I do jump in, because it's when we did the Death Stranding review and all the grog shut up. Doesn't matter. So I just started abusing them and sending them angry messages.
Yeah, you need to have his side on Cloudflare for that. Yeah. But anyway.
He
said he didn't like Cloudflare. Cloudflare's good, Steve.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if that was true, Simon. So basically, you can store Series X games on an external hard drive. I've got my one there. I can store it on there, but to play it, I basically have to dump it to the main hard drive for it to be faster.
Like a Wii with an SD card.
Correct. And so you have to boot it into the internal memory to do it, unless you have those storage cards. And storage cards are $249, $299, something.
They'll come to any price. And
I hope so, because that is the one thing that Sony was known for. Memory stick duo. What was it?
PlayStation. The PlayStation Go needed a stupid thing.
Memory stick duo 2. All their stupid proprietary formats. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like a high-speed compact flash drive. I just would not be surprised.
Probably is, with a chip to make sure that you haven't used it.
Pretty much.
Third-party
So I think it's Seagate has the exclusive rights to the things on it at the moment. Okay, so it must be like a firmware thing that they're like allowing you to expand.
Okay.
So
just
I think once they get to the point where they can say it has to be of this spec, it's going to be easier for them.
So Alex has just confirmed what I said there, which I read on Survivor. The PS5 memory can't be expanded at launch.
M2 cards was the Vita one. That was the bullshit Vita one. The M2 cards.
Actually, you know what? The PSP Go takes M2 cards as well.
There you go.
Because I've got a PSP Go. I love my PSP Go.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
No,
I can't see it now. I've got my old eyes. I can't see things.
Yeah.
I can't.
Grandpa's getting old.
I did. The last 9 months has been very hard.
Yeah, you used to be the one person I could contact at 4 a.m. I'd be out playing a game and oh shit, I better get you to fix that thing on the website. I send you a message and you fucking do it. And now Grandpa's in bed and answers me at fucking 9 in the morning.
That's because
the fuck is that?
I'm up at like 6 in the morning. I have to go to the toilet and have a leak.
Dermie's prostate story.
My prostate's waking me up early. Stop, prostate. I want to sleep in. Yeah, no, get up, go to the toilet. What are you doing in the bed? Come on.
Fucking boomer stories.
Oh, God. Anyway.
And so for all the 55-year-old women listening on Spotify, there's your prostate story.
I'm going to distract him with this Baby Yoda doll again. Yeah. Look how cute he is. Forget what I just said.
Oh, yeah, that's right. M2 was Sony Ericsson phones. That's right. Sony Ericsson... Oh, my... Sony with their proprietary memory, just a bad time all around.
We love Sony here. We're big Sony fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. All right, if that's all the Xbox stuff, we'll wrap up.
I think that's it. If there's anything else you want to know, I mean, you're all going to get yours in 2 hours. I think isn't Microsoft doing something at the moment? Microsoft buy Sega. Have you heard the Sega news? Let's do that one quickly. Sega have sold out of the arcade business in Japan.
I did see
they
that,
no longer own their arcades. They've sold them off to a game rental company. So whether that includes the name or not, or whether it just includes
Didn't they just bring out some fog service?
Yes.
It's not cloud.
Yes.
Just,
Goes to my point, right? Number two, they've started telling people to start taking retirements. So anyone who's suitable for retirement, they've asked them to.
All right, thanks, Sega. I appreciate your work.
Yeah.
I can then get up early and then have a nap.
Yeah.
I've had to get up and do a wee. And then be up late for Jason.
Let's say they wanted to continue with the idea of having those kind of fog servers. You know what would be really good for that? Microsoft Azure servers. I reckon they'd be really good for that.
Oh, here we go.
So I reckon if you were ever going to strike on Sega, you would get them for $100 million at the moment. They'd be worth nothing.
No, you can be Microsoft. You can do the deal, get really close to it, and then go, fuck off. We'll do it.
I mean,
I just swore then. But
they bought Bethesda.
Do I have to put allegedly in front of that?
To be fair, Bethesda. Yeah, I remember. But that was what was his name? Steve Ballmer era.
Oh God!
Don't put a lawyer in for charging a tech company.
Swearing. That's enough.
But yeah,
wash your mouth out.
If they've got $7.5 billion for Bethesda and they're still going to let Todd Howard keep his job, they've got $1 billion for Sega. And buy those properties, release them, make like they've done with Bethesda stuff. You get it on Game Pass day one, but then it's available on all other platforms for free. And they've already started doing the Yakuza games early, all that kind of stuff. If you turn around and say Persona 6 exclusive on Game Pass to Microsoft, people will it'll lose their minds. I don't know. I feel like it's a no-brainer. It offers them an into Japan. I've said it for ages. I'd be very surprised if nothing comes of it.
I saw a funny interview with somebody that makes that Yakuza game and said in Japan with the Yakuza game, I might be wrong, but it said we turn up to an event and our fan base is all like young women and stuff. And it said if we go to somewhere like America or Europe, we turn up to an event and it's all bodybuilders and shit, all big muscly blokes.
Let's be clear. I'm scared of very few people in the video games industry. But Nagoshi, I swear to God, if you ever start a fight with Nagoshi,
I saw him
with his capped teeth and his Buddha face, he just fucking pull out a knife and shank you. He is the inspiration for Majima as far as I'm concerned. But different conversation for a different day. Like, play Yakuza. They're a good series. Yeah.
So, apparently soon on Game Pass. Anyway, so
Yakuza 7 will be out as of midnight. Maybe I'll stream it tomorrow. I'll see how I'm feeling. I don't know.
Let's see if Microsoft don't screw Secret at the last minute again.
Allegedly,
like might or might not have happened some point in the past.
That's why you hate Peter Moore.
Yeah, no, it is actually. I remember I met someone from EA and said, "Why do you hate EA so much?" I actually said because you guys didn't keep deluxe paint on the Amiga. Cool. He looked at me and laughed.
Look, on that note, I think that is it. So we got Couch Warriors December. So we got sorry, I'll take it back. In 2 weeks' time, on Saturday we have the Tekken Last Chance qualifier. So if you are playing Tekken, if you win that, you would have...
Is it Couch Warriors League?
Couch Warriors League.
We'll go to the website, couchwarriorsleague.com.au.
Yes, I believe that's the website we make you make, yep.
Yep.
And then the winners of that...
And can you all please sign on with the same username each time?
No, the FGC kids don't do that.
I have to go through and tidy them all up.
No, they don't do that. That's not how it works.
Just use the same account.
And then December...
I can send IDs of the accounts and you send a different ID every time.
Breaking your program is
Just stop making new accounts. I'm trying to make it automatic.
On that note, but then in December, on December 12th and 13th, it's going to be a big weekend of fighting game action. It's all 4 games in 2 days. It's going to be like a big kind of mini major, but a live streamed event. So it should be good fun.
I've got work to do, I think.
So that is definitely something to check out. So it's couchwarriors.org.au for more info. Couchwarriors.org. Either one works, I'm pretty sure.
These are good. I can turn up these streams and find out what I've got to do for you the next month.
New Game Plus side. The TV episode's on at the moment. I tried to end this podcast before the thing, but I had to pick on him about Sega, so I apologise for that. But do if you are in Melbourne, C44 is ready to go. It should be playing live streamed on the C31 side as well, so make sure you check it out there. If we do this podcast format again, maybe we do it on a Sunday, so we don't cannibalise Prospect's Twitch viewing.
That's not a bad idea, but we're just trying to... Cause
we're just testing it.
Hey, look, I wasn't technically allowed out of the house until midnight last night, so I've been grounded by Dan. Dictator Dan. The dictator.
And it's funny, 13% for Michael O'Brien. Millhouse? Anyway. On that note, I think that's it. Anything else?
New Game Plus, NewGamePlus.tv. Anybody I promised a t-shirt to in there, go to shop.newgameplus.tv, have a look, tell me your size and which one you want, and message the New Game Plus page.
I think 1 or 2 have already come through. I saw the pings come through.
Cool, alright, do that. But anyone else, shop.newgameplus.tv. If we get on a stream and you say something nice about Deus Ex, I might send people another one. Because
I've got hats and jackets here too.
My garage is full of them. I want to get rid of them. So.
All right. On that note, we'll speak to you all later. And thanks for watching / listening. And let us know your feedback.
Bye.